Today I'm going to be talking about things that people do that get on my nerves.
Ali Muhammad.
I don't like it when people have silly little debates over the pronunciation of certain words. Like, for example, bath over bath and grass over grass. You know, as if it's not in any way dependent on your upbringing or the way you were taught to talk. No, this is the definitive way of saying it, and anyone who disagrees is wrong. It's such a boring, pointless conversation that no one can objectively win. In theory, it's like hearing a Frenchman saying bonjour and responding with, no, it's pronounced hello. You've got to wonder what the kinds of people who have these conversations think they're going to get out of it. Like, you're hardly going to have converted the other person by the end of it. You know what, you're right, yeah. It is grass actually, isn't it? Yeah, silly me. The irony is, whatever pronunciation the person's trying to defend, they likely don't even stick to 100% of the time. So the legitimacy of their whole argument just comes into question. I don't know about you, but I'm someone who frequently orientates between different pronunciations of words. I could easily wind up saying path and path in the same sentence. So you're not going to catch me strutting about telling anyone else how to speak. And neither should you.
I'd like to say the word, damn it.
People who are so up their own arse about their music taste that they think they're able to objectively say blank is blank's best song. Have you listened to all of their songs? No, exactly, that's what I thought, so shut the f*** up and choose your words more wisely next time. Blank is my favourite song by blank, is what you should be saying. What infuriates me even more about this blind statement is how most of the time it couldn't be more obvious that this dimwit has heard slim to nothing from this artist. Here's an example, okay? Song 2 is Blur's best song. Really? Because it also happens to be their biggest hit. What's your favourite Blur album, my friend? Exactly. And again, if you've heard all their albums, or at least a vast majority, then yeah, you're able to say that more objectively, but whenever someone says this, you can almost guarantee a good 90% of the time that that isn't the case, because the type of people who chime in with this kind of shit tend to be insecure people who just want to be part of a conversation, which is fair enough. I mean, we've all been there, but extend your research first, okay?
Talent show every Sunday.
When you're walking innocently beside someone on a pathway, and they completely out of the blue take it upon themselves to get a bit cocky, a bit competitive. They begin speed walking past you whilst trying desperately to maintain some sense of normality, which I might add never works because you can always tell how hard they're trying, leaving you thinking, "F***ing hell, calm down mate, it's not a race, is it?" Only for your brain, literally a second later, and I don't know why, to go, alright, nah, fuck it, it is a race now. So now you're both speed walking, despite the fact neither of you are in a hurry, knowing full well that you both look like dickheads, but nevertheless pursuing the race. And then the worst part comes when you're eventually forced to turn in at a junction, because, you know, it's where you live, while the other guy pods on forward along the pathway, leaving the juvenile, childlike part of your brain to assume that he's just won. One what?
Wear buns in my hair all day, every day.
Teenagers who bitch about relationships on social media, or more specifically their lack of. Because that's going to help your case, isn't it? The leading cause of this tends to be couples who deem it necessary to plaster their perfect relationship on every form of social media under the sun, to an extent where they're now inadvertently making insecure single people jealous. However, insecure single people, I have conducted the perfect solution. Want to hear it? It's that simple. Or not, if you're someone who uses their phone to an extent where putting it down is like taking an Alky's whiskey away. What gets on my nerves the most about this whining and complaining is how it mostly comes in the form of what is quite obviously a spontaneous, momentary thought that they're going to forget about the next day and go about like nothing happened. But because at the time they were feeling a bit low about themselves and seeing someone's perfect relationship just added fuel to the fire, they go and chat some shit like, "Oh, I'm so terrified of being alone forever." Like, yeah, no shit, who isn't? But you saying that at an age where you've barely scraped a fifth of your entire life expectancy makes you come off a bit ignorant, I'm sorry. You're hardly 40, are you? You've got the rest of your life. Well, I mean, if you are 40, then, I don't know what to tell you.